Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Hold on to your hats because what I'm about to tell you could reshape the entire NFC East landscape and give the Washington Commanders a real shot at bolstering their defense for a deep playoff run. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade that could see the Commanders acquire Antoine Winfield Jr. from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and honestly, this move could be a game-changer. It's a story that's been gaining momentum, and as fans, we need to understand what it could mean for our team and the division as a whole. So let's set the scene. The Buccaneers, sitting at 5-8, are clearly in a bit of a rebuild mode right now. Their offense has been sluggish, averaging just 18 points per game this season, which is pretty low for an NFL team that's trying to keep up in the NFC. Tampa Bay's focus, especially after a tough start and with the defending champs' window closing, has shifted toward building for the future, especially on the defensive side. Enter Antoine Winfield Jr., a safety who's been a Swiss Army knife for Tampa Bay's defense. He's not your typical safety. No, this guy's a playmaker who can do it all. And the fact that the Buccaneers are considering trading him for a second-round pick from Washington shows just how much they value his talent, but also how eager they are to free up cap space and draft capital to rebuild their roster. Sources close to ESPN's Adam Schefter indicate that Tampa Bay is contemplating parting ways with Winfield Jr., and the asking price is reportedly a second-round pick. For the Commanders, that's a pretty reasonable price considering what Winfield could bring to the table. Not only would he be a huge upgrade in the secondary, but his versatility could allow defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio to deploy him in multiple roles: blitzing, coverage, run support, you name it. And in a division where big plays can turn the tide in an instant, having a safety who can patrol the deep zones, make plays on the ball, and even rush the quarterback could be exactly what we need to take that next step. Now, let's talk about Winfield's capabilities. In 2025, he's been lighting it up with 5 interceptions, 12 pass deflections, and 4 sacks. Yes, 4 sacks coming from the safety position. His PFF grade of 88. 7 puts him in the top tier of safeties in the league, making him a true impact player. His coverage EPA, expected points added, sits at -0.40, which is excellent, and he's allowed just about 50% of passes thrown his way to be completed. Even with a concussion that sidelined him for 2 games in Week 9, Winfield has demonstrated resilience and consistency. His career stats are impressive, with 15 interceptions, 40 pass deflections, and 12 sacks, an elite combo of ball skills and pass rushing ability. Plus, he's allowed only 3.8 yards after catch per reception, which is outstanding for a safety. In Tampa Bay, there's some skepticism about trading Winfield, especially given his contract, about $19 million against the cap, and the Bucks are focusing on a youth movement, prioritizing younger players and draft picks to rebuild. They're eyeing a future where they can develop new talent and climb back into playoff contention, rather than holding onto a player with a hefty price tag. But for the Commanders, this is a no-brainer. We're already having a solid season, standing at 6-7, with a defense that's allowing roughly 1.5 deep touchdowns per game. Adding Winfield would instantly boost our secondary, providing more flexibility in coverage and the ability to blitz more effectively. His presence would complement our other defenders, especially someone like Forbes, with whom he could form a formidable duo in the secondary, potentially raising our interception rate by around 22%. Imagine the impact. Winfield's addition would bring a new level of versatility. He can help in run support, making stops that keep opponents from gaining big chunks of yardage on the ground. His stats show that he's a game changer. He averages +1. 3 pass deflections per 100 snaps, which would significantly increase our turnover chances. With him in the fold, our defense could become more aggressive, more disruptive. This is exactly the kind of injection of talent we need to elevate our team from a decent squad to serious contenders. Now, the numbers tell a compelling story. If you compare Winfield to some recent successful trades, like the one involving Kevin Byard, you see a clear pattern. Bolstering the secondary can dramatically reduce big plays and turn the tide in close games. The Eagles, for example, have been able to hold opponents to about 110 fewer yards per game in 2024 after making strategic moves to improve their secondary. That's the kind of impact we're aiming for, and Winfield could be the missing piece that helps us elevate our defense to elite status. One of the most exciting aspects of acquiring Winfield is how it could improve our red zone defense. Interceptions in the red zone are a game changer. They can swing momentum, force turnovers, and give our offense a chance to put points on the board in crucial moments. If we can elevate our red zone defense to intercept passes more frequently, it would allow our offense to play more aggressively, knowing our secondary is capable of making those game-winning plays. This shift could be the difference between missing out on playoff positioning and making a real push deep into January. On the betting side, the odds for the Commanders making a Super Bowl run could see a significant boost. Currently, the odds are around +2,500, reflecting the team's current state, but also the potential for growth. If we land Winfield, those odds could jump to roughly +150, making us a much more attractive pick for bettors, and a statement to the league that Washington is serious about competing. The addition of Winfield wouldn't just be a short-term fix. It would send a message that the Commanders are committed to building a dominant defense that can carry us through the postseason. Now, let's look at the tactical side of things. Winfield's ability to read the quarterback and anticipate throws can elevate our coverage schemes, especially against teams with talented passing attacks like the Packers, who average around 260 passing yards per game. Simulations show that with Winfield in the lineup, our chances of forcing turnovers increase by about 18%, which is huge when you consider how many games are won or lost by just a few points. His presence will allow us to be more aggressive in coverage, especially in critical situations like third down or red zone defense, where every play counts. Looking ahead, this move could be reminiscent of some of the legendary defensive pivots in NFL history. Think of Ed Reed, whose ball-hawking skills and leadership transformed the Ravens' secondary into one of the most feared units in the league. If Winfield can follow that kind of path, it could elevate the Commanders' defense to elite status, making us a team nobody wants to face come playoff time. The potential for multiple Lombardi trophies in the future is starting to look more realistic, especially if we can add more pieces to complement this new secondary star. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, and there are questions to consider. Will Tampa Bay accept the second-round pick, especially given the cap hit and their rebuild plans? How quickly can Winfield adapt to a new team and system? And what will this mean for our current roster and salary cap management? These are all strategic considerations, but the overall outlook is promising. The opportunity to add a player of Winfield's caliber at a relatively reasonable price is rare, and if the Commanders pull the trigger, it could be one of those moves that define a season. In conclusion, this potential trade isn't just about acquiring a talented safety. It's about transforming our entire defense and making a clear statement to the league. It's about setting ourselves up for a Super Bowl push, building a unit that's as tough and versatile as the fans who cheer for them every Sunday. The combination of Winfield's skills, our current roster, and the strategic vision of the coaching staff could make the Commanders a team to be reckoned with for years to come. Keep an eye on this story, folks, because if it happens, it's going to be one of the most exciting developments of the NFL season. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe adding Anton Winfield Jr. is the missing piece? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. Let's go, Commanders!